And in this testimony, there will be some speakers as well who will be sharing you their stories on how this platform, how this Riway changed their life the moment they joined this amazing platform of Riway. So are you all ready? Yes! You know what, just to share you something. When I joined here in Riway, it is very rare for me to see a leader who is the same age as I am, most especially younger than me, you know. And do you believe that here in Riway, age is just a number? Do you believe so? Here in Riway, age is just a number. You just need to be 18 years old and that's it. You can do Riway. You can do now the business. And for me, based on my experience, I rarely see people again who is the same age as me and younger than me. And you know what? This next speaker, probably she's really younger than me, you know. And ever since that she was still a little kid, you know, she already have the knowledge, she already have the glance inside the platform of Riway, you know. Do you want to know the reason why? It is because her mother is one of the well-known leaders here in Riway, Philippines. Her mother is the reason why we have this so-called Riway Philippines, you know. And of course, as time goes by, the moment, every time that she is witnessing her mother's milestones and achievements here inside Riway, definitely she didn't hesitate to do the business as well. And you know what? Even at a young age, while she was still studying before, she is doing the business at a young age while studying, you know. Do you think that's hard? Do you think that's difficult? Being a student and at the same time you are doing Riway. I tell you, that's very, very difficult. And now, I've just heard that this young lady already graduated and now doing Riway full-time. And take note, this leader is one of the top leaders of Riway Philippines, you know. So now, she will be coming up on the stage and tell you how this company changed his life. From being a little kid, now being a woman looking professionally and dresses elegantly. So are you all excited? Yeah. So with all that being said, please help me all welcome and give a big round of applause for our Team Elite Pegasus, Kathryn.
Thank you, Jaime, for the wonderful introduction. So, magandang hapon, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. So, let me start by asking you this. Do you know that 90% of the world's wealth is controlled by just 10% of the population? Now, how do you know that you won't be the next 10% if you never even give it a try? First, I want to thank our business development, JD and Jaime, for encouraging me and giving me this opportunity to be one of the speakers for today. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Kathryn. Whenever people meet me, they'll often say, "Wow, you look so young. How old are you? So young and already doing this?" Well, yes, I'm 23 years old, but I have been involved in Riway since when I was 13. So I have been following my mom to the Riway office since then. And I remember I did my first product presentation when I was 16. I did so terrible, and I tell myself that the next time I do, I will make sure that it is clear and convincing. And after, when people hear my presentation, they'll want to buy the product. And I hope I'm getting there. So, now, you'll be wondering, what is a 23-year-old doing here? So after I graduated from Singapore, I come back to the Philippines to study. So whenever people hear me that I graduated from Singapore and I moved back to the Philippines to study, they will be like, "Why did Quebec. Di ba mas maganda sa Singapore? I believe we all know that there's so much more better opportunities in Singapore. I could easily secure a job that pays $3,000 a month. That's equivalent to 130,000 pesos for a fresh graduate. So why? Why did I choose Riway? There's so many reasons why I chose Riway, but if I was to state one by one, I don't think we can go home today. So I have summarized a few key points with you. So the first main reason is because I have personally experienced how after my mom joined Riway, our life completely changed in just a span of 2 years. Yes, 2 years. Hindi siya 10 years or 20 years. 2 years lang siya. And I believe some of you may know that if you know her story, you'll know that she was the main reason why there's Riway Philippines right now. Basically, before she even joined Riway, she was selling pirated DVD in a very tiny old shop in Ongping, Chinatown. And we were really struggling financially at that time. And she was a single mother who had to raise 3 children on her own. And imagine, yung ibang tao, 2 parents, they had to raise 1 children, nahirapan na sila. Paano ba 1 parent raising 3 children? Can you imagine that? So fast forward to after her friend introduced her to Riway. So since at that time there was no Riway office yet, hindi katulad ngayon, we have office here in Manila, everywhere, and meron pa tayong testimonial event. At that time, walang ganon. So she had to smuggle per year from Singapore to the Philippines. And because of her courage, we have office now here in Manila, Cebu, Iloilo, Davao, Pampanga, Cagayan de Oro. So we should all give her a round of applause. So the second reason why I chose to do Riway is because I believe that Riway truly gives you so much value into your life. It pushes you with countless of rejections and challenges, and every time you overcome a challenge, you become a better version of yourself, right? And if I choose to work in Singapore for a 9-to-5 job, would I feel like I was growing every day? Maybe a little bit, but would I feel like I'm being fulfilled at the end of the day? Probably not. But with Riway, every day there are new challenges that force you to step out of your comfort zone. Like right now, I'm standing here on this stage, speaking to 1,000 or 2,000 of people. It's a challenge itself. So hindi siya ganun ka-easy. So we should give all the speakers for today a big round of applause. So, sana. Yeah, so I remember there was this experience I had in BGC when I managed to meet a stranger and share to him about the product and the marketing plan. And he seemed so interested. Nag-ask pa siya kung paano magbayad, everything. So we scheduled to meet the next day in the office at 3 p.m. So before 3, dumating na ako. I waited and waited for 2 hours. He didn't show up. And he didn't even answer my call. But do I just give up due to this kind of experience? No. Because it is due to this kind of experience that we grow, become stronger, right? So the third reason is because, before I move on. So over the years, I have my dad's team in Japan, and also my mom's team in Hong Kong. Every time na nakikita ko tong picture, I was like, wow, they look so organized, diba? So one thing I've realized is how grateful they are to them. They're constantly expressing their gratitude towards my parents. In the airport, they'll greet them with a bouquet of flowers. And knowing that my dad loves coffee, they'll buy Starbucks coffee 3 to 4 times a day. And I'm not even exaggerating because I see it with my own eyes. So imagine if you are in their position, how would you feel? You'll feel like you're being appreciated, right? And like you're doing something very meaningful. So imagine if you're able to improve people's health or people's lives. It's such a meaningful thing to do. And move on to our last reason why I joined Riway, and which is the most important reason. Have you ever seen a company or boss that truly cares about how much you earn? Anyone among us has seen a company like that? No, right? But because most companies, they're too busy focusing how much profit they're making while paying you the minimum salary, so that they can lower their expenses as much as possible. But in Riway, if you have heard of Riway's marketing plan, you know there is 3 types of bonuses. First is referral bonus, second is development bonus, and matching bonus. So with this system, it's possible to achieve millions a month. Yes, millions. And achieve a passive income. And you shouldn't doubt this business at all, because there are already so many leaders who have already achieved it. Maybe they only work very, very hard for 2 to 3 years. They already achieved their financial freedom and can travel the world. So as long as you're willing to empty your cup, start from zero and work as hard as possible. Because Riway doesn't limit your potential, but instead it allows you to take control of your success. So, have you ever wondered why some people can achieve financial success while others have to struggle financially their whole life? Who among us here have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? Madami. So he explained that there are 4 types of people when it comes to making money. The first is E stands for employee. So these are the people who works for others. Do you think that there's a lot of people who's under this category? Yes, I believe majority of us is under this category. Next is S, stands for self-employed. So these are the people who owns a small business or people who have skills. Maybe a chef, a lawyer, or a doctor. And next is B, stands for business. Business owners. So these people, they own a system that works for them. And they have at least 500 workers under them. And lastly is I, stands for investors. So these are the people who use their money to invest in assets such as stocks, real estate, businesses. So they let their money work for them. So after hearing these 4 types of people, I believe we all want to be the last one, right? Investor. But after explaining these 4 types, have you noticed something they have in similar? Have you noticed that they all have one thing in common? which is they're all selling something. They're all selling something. So for the first group of people, employee, they are selling their time. They're selling their time because they don't have skills or knowledge, so their product is their time. So they trade their hours for a paycheck, and their income depends on how much they work. If they don't work, they don't earn. And next group is S, self-employed. These people are the people who are also selling their time, but aside from just selling their time, they're also selling their skills or knowledge. So maybe they have skills and knowledge, that's why their salary is higher. Whether it be doctors, lawyers, or chef, or business owners, their income is still heavily depend on how much personal effort they put in. If they don't work, they also don't earn. And our next type is business owners. So this group of people, it's different. They're selling a system. They're selling a system. So they build teams and systems that work for them. So even their income, even when they're not working, their system works for them continuously. So they don't have to actively working every day. And finally, the last group of people, investors. So this group of people is the most powerful because they use their money to invest in assets that generate them income. So they're using their money to generate more money. So at this point, we have to be clear, what type of people are we? I believe majority of us is under the left side of the quadrant, which is E or S. So after explaining this, we have learned that today, no matter what, you cannot escape the reality of you have to sell something. Either you sell your knowledge or you sell your time. So we cannot escape this fact that we have to sell something no matter what. So what I have learned from this is what we sell is very important. So I don't know if you have noticed that in our grandparents' generation, if they want to move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant, how long do you think it will usually take them? We can just see from those who have already succeeded today, who started from nothing, such as the owner of SM, Henry C., and also one of the most influential businessmen, Lee Ka-sing. It probably took them 30 years or more to become who they are right now. Just look at Lee Ka-sing, he's nearly reaching his 100 years old. Today, I'm 30 years old. If I have to work 30 years or more to become their level of success, I'll be in my 50s by then. But maybe it's still not too bad, but what about for those who started when they are 40 or 50 years old? By the time they reach that level, they'll be in their 70s or 80s, probably sitting in a wheelchair and to have too little energy left to enjoy the wealth that they have created so hard. But it's quite interesting though, as the world becomes more modern, today the people, if they want to achieve success, it is much faster. You can just see from those TikTok influencers, they can easily move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant in a very short period of time, maybe 2 to 3 years. So So we should find something that can help us move from the right to the left in a very fast period of time as well. And I believe that Riway is definitely one of the ways. Let's take a look at this slide. What do you notice? You can see that it says that the top 10% controls the 90% of the wealth in the world. So these people, they hold so much power, and they will try their best to keep us where we are now. So we will remain working for them. And how do they do that? One of the ways is through social media. Think about it. How much time do you spend on social media scrolling through short videos, chasing the latest trends, and buying the things you don't really need? So these people, they have mastered the art of distracting you and keeping you hooked. So they'll do everything to keep us poor and distracted and stuck in the cycle while they remain richer and richer. But the good news is, there is a way to break through that cycle. That's why we are all here today, right? And Riway International is not just about selling per year. It's about improving people's health and making their life more meaningful while empowering them to achieve financial freedom. And Riway is a platform that allows you to grow, influence others, and to build a future that you are in control of. So, before I end, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to our training department, Joseph Khan, because I remember clearly it was last November 20 when he took his time to meet with our leaders, and he was able to deliver such an inspiring and motivating talk. And he also encouraged them to achieve 1 star so that they can go to the 17th anniversary gala dinner in Singapore. And because of this, they were able to push themselves and achieve 1 star right after. So to those very leaders, Jasmine, Carol, and Dolor, they're here with us today. We should give them and Joseph Khan a big round of applause. And last but not least, I have to thank my mom for pushing me to do better every time, and always and supporting me throughout. So lahat nagsasabi na we look like siblings. Kanina din may nagsabi, mukha kami magkapatid. So actually, I don't think so much. Until last week, JD asked me, how do I feel when people say that? Do I feel offended? Napaisip tuloy ako dun. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I believe I should take it positively, am I right? So my speech ends here. Thank you so much.